Happy New Year 2026. Finally, it's here. Today it's on 2nd of January 2026. A beautiful day, as all days are. And today is on a Friday, a good Friday. We are happy. And as always, we are thankful for life and thankful for the gift of life, and health in general, that you're okay, we are whole. And with that, we always say thank you to God, and we know and acknowledge that it's not by our might, it's not by our doing, it's not that we deserve it, but it's because of the love and the care that God has for us, and His grace and His perfect plans that He has in our life. That's why we are here. And if we have breath in our lungs, we're always gonna say thank you, we're always gonna enjoy it, we're always gonna do our best and live life to the fullest each day and each moment. With that, tunakaribisha 2026 vizuri. Yeah, so it's a new year, and just checking up on myself and on you. Tunapeana progress. So a recap on 2025. So 2025 for me was, and as you can tell, maybe if come and watch the other videos, is it was a year of soul searching, it was a year of rediscovery, it was a year of pain, it was a year of happiness, it was a year of dreams, it was a year of dreams being crushed, it was a year of falling down, rising up again, dusting ourselves, falling down. You get, it was up and down, as all years are, as life is in general. But to me personally, it was a year where I have rediscovered myself. I've gone in depth to know myself. I've gone in depth to to gain that consciousness and awareness. And it was a beautiful year, even though it had its own challenges, but we overcame, and we have gone into a new year. It's a start, as I told you. This is a start, and that feeling is real, and that rebirth, rebirth is real. So being 2026, the resolve is even bigger, the dreams are even bigger. We are not gonna let ourselves pull ourselves down. We are not gonna let anything, anybody, any situation, any circumstances to pull us down. You get? So the resolve is bigger. We're gonna love more. We're gonna love better. We're gonna be better people, regardless. You get, and all that we're gonna do for us. And it's so amazing that everything is connected, and everything just works out for good. Everything works out for good. Everything works out for good. Even the minute thing that you don't think it matters do matter. It all adds up, and I'm also very happy that I started doing these videos, and the idea that I had of doing these videos, and even when it changed, when things changed, that is life. Things happen, you uncover things that you didn't know, and it changes the whole narrative, the whole story. And it's all part of the story, and it's all good. That's the beauty of life. You don't know what will happen tomorrow, you don't know what will uncover, you don't know the growth you will undergo. You get that's the most important, and that's the fun part of life. uh, the not knowing, if and that's the beauty of being a human being. The beauty of being a human being is discovering yourself, discovering knowledge, acquiring consciousness and awareness, knowing how things work, and experiencing life. That is what experiencing life is. And for me, I think I experienced life to the fullest in 2025. And even starting the videos, it is a reflection of me. It has helped me become accountable to myself. It have helped me go into my thoughts, go into discovering the kind of person and the kind of being I am. What made me? What's my background? Eh? Unajichunguza. Whatever was so ambiguous to me, I finally understood it. Whatever was so confusing, I finally put it all together. It all adds up, and I've done the math, and it's equating to something understandable. It's equating to that awareness, you get. And that has been the journey. And these videos, you may think I'm intentionally doing them for maybe posting them or releasing them one day, but no, the biggest reason of these videos is for myself. I am talking to myself right now. I'm talking to myself right now. I'm talking to my reflection. I'm seeing myself right now. I'm talking to me. I'm getting to know myself even better, And it gets overwhelming as it gets overwhelming sometimes. And as most people, they shy away, or they have fear of going into those depths of knowing themselves and having those difficult conversations with themselves and asking themselves questions, trying to decipher who they are. Most people don't know who they are. And once you know who you are, you unlock a certain level of peace and calmness in your heart, and a certain level of power in yourself, that it's so outstanding, astonishing and outstanding, you get. And I think that's what I've done. And this even new year, and even trying to usher in this new year, that is what really happened. And sometimes it happens when you're emotional. Knowing yourself, you become emotional. Accepting yourself is also emotional, because you have to accept everything that comes with you. And once you become at peace with everything that comes with you, y- y- now from there on, it's just happiness and being better, you know. And I can tell you, I've got it. I've got it. And this new year, there's clarity in the air. There's clarity in the air. Those numbers that I told you, I didn't know what they mean. I was trying to think about them, and this is from late 2022 to around there 2023. That's when I first started seeing those numbers, and decipher trying to decipher what do these numbers mean. Why am I so focused? Where am I visualizing these numbers? And for the longest time since then, this this is the first time I can say I know what it means. I know what it means. And if you watch the other videos, the previous videos, you will see the chronology, the process of even me rediscovering them. And it was so, to me, it felt instantaneous, but I know, and I know it was a process, and it was step by step. You piece this together, you piece the other thing together, and then it all adds up, and now you feel like your mind has opened up, and you're like, wow, I get this. I understand it now, you get. And then you understand why I felt like it's time. That echoing of the words, it's time, telling myself it's time. You get where it's coming from. It's like, once you accept yourself, and accepting yourself is also aligning yourself to Christ, because there is no separation. You and God, you and Jesus, there's no separation. That's why I'm saying I'm God, I'm Christ. Christ is in me, I'm in Christ. I've given up my life as who I was. This is a new me. I told you I felt that rebirth. Now I've been born. This is now a new me. And a new me, the old me is dead. This is now a new me. And a new me is Christ. Christ is living through me. It's very fascinating. And once you unlock that, and now I have revelation of what those numbers meant. I can see now where they meant. I can see now what it's all about. What it's all about. And once you have that, you have peace, you have contentment, and you have joy in your heart. An experience that all of us need to have. And it's every one of us. It's every one of us. No one, you know, we all have that capability. It's only that we've been lied to. It's only that we live a lie. It's only that we don't have time to uncover the truth, to uncover the real consciousness, to uncover the real awareness. And once you connect yourself the one true consciousness. You become conscious and you become aware and you lose your fear. And this year there is no fear, we are strong and as always manzi, as always mnajua ni nini. Yeah, so now I can connect everything. I've gotten all the meaning and I've asked myself the difficult questions. But this year we're following our passion, back to writing, because once you get knowledge, the only way to enjoy knowledge is by sharing it. The only way to enjoy revelation is by sharing it. And sometimes, not even sometimes, even uncovering that level of consciousness and level of awareness and knowledge, it's to some level it can be burdening if you are still, because you are still a human being, you are still flesh. It can be burdening, and you feel, and you question yourself, am I ready? Are even people ready to 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 get this knowledge? Are even people ready? Am I also ready? And you have to get past that. You have to get past that and decide. And unasema itakuwa fiti, regardless itakuwa fiti. That's the only burden. And once you have all the power and all the power that you can do anything, what do? What's the plan? Unaweza fanya anything. And I told you, I know my dream is big and I know I can do anything. Like even the craziest thing, I can still do them. And they will be great. Say, like I told you, like duality of life, good and bad, uh, good and evil, black and white. They still that once you unlock that power, you have now that burden of deciding what do you do with all this power. With once you've unlocked all this knowledge, what do you do? Where do you get from here? Do you become the good guy or the bad guy? And in your part, do you know it's good and bad? You get, that's the burden of it. You can do anything. You can decide to do anything, and you'll still be great in it. Sasa ukiamua tasema nini sasa? What is considered bad? What is considered bad? Pornography ama pornography tuseme ni pornography ama ni nini? Yeah. Let's use pornography in quotes, because I know everyone has their own thing, but pornography, it's bad, right? And selling and distribution of pornography, it's bad. But even if I decide to do that, the worst, I'll still be great in it. That's how having unlocked that power is. That is how having unlocked that power is. You become great in doing anything that you want. You become the best of anything that you do. That is how crazy that is. And that is what I meant when I said I have the power to do anything that I put my mind to. You get? So that's that. And I'm wishing everyone I'm wishing everyone happiness and joy. You get? I'm wishing everyone happiness and joy this year. And if I wish you happiness, that means I'm committing myself to contributing to your happiness. I just can't wish you happiness then contribute to not giving you happiness, or become a reason that you feel unhappy. So if that's the case, don't wish anyone a year of success, a year of happiness. If you wish someone happiness and a prosperous year ahead and a happy year ahead of them, you are committing yourself to contributing for them to become happy. That's it. Don't go missing later on. Don't be part of the reason that they are sorrowful, that they are sad. If I wish you a happy year ahead of you, that means I'm intentionally committing myself to contribute to that happiness, either by telling you I love you, I'm there for you, I'll be there for you. trying to give you knowledge, trying to sharpen our minds and open our minds and our awareness and our consciousness. That's the whole purpose of it. Yeah. So that tunajibamba. I know, and I know it's very easy for fear. It's very easy for doubt to creep in. Even inatafuta tu mwanya na inakuogopesha, nakwambia. So you're this powerful. Then tell me, how will this happen? Tell me, utatoa wapi do? Tell me, utamanage aje hii dream yako? Utaachieve aje hii dream yako? That's creeping in, yeah, doubt and fear. And it's your mind. You have to tell your mind, keep quiet, relax. You have to control your mind. Let not those thoughts go wild. And for me, I achieved this by repeating to myself over and over and over again, Jesus is in my heart, Holy Spirit is in my mind. Any thought that is trying to come a thought of fear, I'm like, hey, unaambia nani hivyo wewe? Unajua mimi ni Mungu. Wewe unajua mimi na Mungu ni kitu moja. So unaniambiaje? Unajua consciousness ina control world. It's in my mind. So this thought cannot be of mine. And once I've repeated it over and over until it became like natural, it's a voice at the back of my mind unconsciously that for a long time you're like, I haven't even thought about something demeaning, I haven't even thought about have those negative thoughts for the longest time, and you're like, it's weird how that happens. It's weird, you don't even know the point when it did happen. You're just like, what? You just realize it did happen. And that's what happened to me. And once you do that, you uncover the knowledge and the wisdom and the awareness that is in the universe, And for me, I've told you, I've struggled with those numbers for over 2 years. For over 2 years, trying to think, what does they mean? I'm just lost. And now I know it's something divine. It's something divine. And what I can tell you, and it's all about God, it's all about all of us. And for me, you see the 11, it's the end number, and it's the 11th hour. It's the number of mastery, it's the number of, it's all related. And what I can tell you, read my books, read my articles whenever you find them, and know that everything is connected. All of these things are connected. They're related to each other. But the main point is God wants us to understand Him. And to understand Him when He comes as a judge, to understand Him when He judges us. You get? So let us first think the analogy or the story of God where it comes in. So God being a being, the first knowledge ama tuanzie story God and quote unquote Lucifer. So God and Lucifer, they're in heaven, right? Lucifer, he's favored by God. God loves Lucifer, and from the word and from the analogy is God loves and favors Lucifer, right? When Lucifer is favored, Lucifer gets greed and he wants more than what he has. He goes against God. And this angers God. And when this angers God, he casts him out of heaven, out of the dwelling place of God. And when he's cast, the devil is locked out, he's roaming wherever he's roaming. Then I think this betrayal, the feeling of betrayal, this is someone I loved, this is someone I favored, above the other angels, above, because that is what we get from the story. It angers God, it pains God. God is painful, but He's a good God. And He's at a crossroad of, should I forgive him? Should I bring him back? What if I forgive him? And even Lucifer himself, he's part of God. God says everything and everyone, it's him. You get? So God says, let us make man now in our own image. And the purpose of man is the purpose of you existing, the purpose of Adam existing is to either make either change the mind of God. Is God thinking? You're part of God. You're part of God, but the part of God that is thinking of, like, he's either you pursue him to forgiveness or not. He said, now let us make man and give this man freedom to do what he does. And this man is still God, because he's created in the image and likeness of God. And God breath is breath, and breath is life. God breath is alipiana life yake kutoka kwake akape Adam. So Adam, he's a small God. Adam is a small God, right? So he's a representation of God. He's like a small God. So he's like the tunasemaje, experiment. He's the experiment to see what will I do. So amewekwa kwa Eden. So we see, will he still believe in myself and be good and be unaget? Ni Mungu anajitest. All this is God testing himself. Is God thinking. All of us, they are God thinking. That's why people end up saying that existence is a simulation. Existence is a dream. Existence is just different realities. All this is God thinking and God trying to come to terms. So he puts Adam. You know the story of Adam. Eve get in. When Eve get in, we see the second betrayal. Adam tells Eve what God had told him. So Eve decides now the devil, the first spirit, the spirit of betrayal, the spirit of, the spirit here of, let me say what, of fighting, of denial, of, that spirit that God casted out of himself, now speaks to this also God, that is given free will, a part of God that is given free will to decide which way to go. So Adam listens to that spirit and betrays first Adam. When Eve betrays Adam, because he didn't listen to what Adam had told her, Adam also gets persuaded and betrays God. So now God has betrayed himself. It's like this video that I'm doing. I'm being accountable to myself. But this video will say, when you watch this video, you will say that I have committed myself to loving better. I've committed myself to doing better. And let's say I have the power, because I do. This video goes on and lives a life. And maybe on my side, I change. I don't love, but this video still says I love. You get? I've betrayed myself. So that is the scenario. So God betrays himself. But because he has the power of giving, it's himself freedom of choice through Adam. So, Adam and Eve gets casted out of Eden. The heaven on earth gets casted out. And once it goes, God still is very merciful and he is conflicted on what to do, because all of that, it's himself. All of that, it's himself. It's one and the same person. It's his thought, it's himself, it's one. So once he gets out, the second betrayal we see, it's Cain and Abel. Cain kills Abel. He betrays his brother. Cain betrays his brother out of, that story. We know it. And God is even more conflicted now. Now this being, he himself is now judging himself. God is judging himself now. God is ever judging himself. From all those points, from his betrayal by the spirit of evilness and humanity now, the gods in human form betrayed also him. Now from there we see humanity now going away from God, the natural being of human beings trying to deny God and trying to say, you have that ego, that denial. And God is like, what will I do? I've given these people free choice. But the one that they mostly go to is denying myself, is denying themselves, you know. So he decides, I will come back. I will come now myself in human form. Myself now. And now that's when Jesus comes in. Jesus comes in his God, is a body that God has put all the knowledge that he has, all the understanding that he has. He has unlocked all the parts of his mind, and he understands God. He understands the purpose of God. He is God in the human body. And now that is what God wanted the humanity to know and to understand. To understand they are God. They are God in himself. That's why Jesus goes on and says, he himself, he cannot do anything, but we, the Father, can do everything. And you can do what he did and do even greater than what he has done. He was coming to give us that consciousness. That's why even in the beginning up of Adam, God gave Adam the responsibility of naming the animals. And no one, in this world, we have given God all power to be all powerful. He's the one who can name something and stick. So that means he mandated his mandate to man. And you cannot do something that to someone that either has a different capability or is not capable of doing that. So Jesus came. So these people don't understand. They have forgotten who they are. You get, the humanity has forgotten who they are. I've tried to give little of my message to prophets. Now let me come, give my all consciousness to this humanity and still see if they will know who they are, if they will connect themselves back to me, God, the good one, the good God, the good consciousness. You get? So Jesus comes, but it's foreign because people already have locked their mind to written texts, to customs, to norms, to religion, and they're like, no, it cannot be. Nah, it cannot be. So they kill him. And Jesus knew these people, they are so defiant that they will kill me. They will kill me. And that's how he dies. And him dying and coming back, it's him evidence. Is living out the evidence. See, I came, I behaved like this, I taught this, I sold you, I told you, get this consciousness, get this awareness, you get. And he said, when I leave, I will send the Holy Spirit to help you. And that is the consciousness. And once you accept it and accept yourself, that is the consciousness. So Jesus lives, but now, after Jesus, the whole purpose is to get that consciousness. And now for me, I have connected that. I know a lot of people have done the same. A lot of people have done the same before me, even this time. And now it's my time. And now relating to the numbers. When Jesus was with the disciples, he told the disciples, he was with when the fishermen cast your nets on the right side, and they cast the nets and they caught 153 fish. When you add it, it comes to 9. 9 is the number of completion, as I've tried to explain it to you. I'll go into depth and find my book and read it. Find my book to understand all this. 9 is the meaning of completion. And when you look at the right side. Where the right side? The right side of the mind, the right side of our mind. And what does that mean? It's about that consciousness and connecting yourself to Christ. And once you do that, Christ, there is so much, and that's why the last part of the Bible is revelation. Being revelation, the way you've been taught by your pastors who doesn't have knowledge, who doesn't have that revelation themselves, they have confused you. But because you have gone there and you are suffering out of ignorance, you plainly believe what they are telling you without thinking for yourself. And even for me, I don't want you to believe me. I want you to think for yourself. I want you to think for yourself. Do the research for yourself. You get? So revelation is just nifunuo. You get that revelation. And you usually get revelation in your mind, either through visions, either through dreams, whatever the case, either through knowledge, you get that revelation. And this is the main point, and that's why they bring up about the 11th hour. God, and I'll connect this to Jeremiah. When I was a child, in 1998, they released the Bible collections, and one of the movies there was about Jeremiah the prophet. And when I was born, 9 months later, that's when the first release of that Bible collection was released. And when I was a child, I used to love watching that, that film over and over and over again. I didn't know why. I pictured myself there. I felt it. I lived through that. I didn't know the connection. And once we look at that, that's when Jesus, like God is asking Jeremiah, what do you see? It's time, you get. And all that maybe got into my unconscious mind, and I lived through that. So, the main message now, this is where I'm coming from. The main message of our existence and the main point and the whole point of existence is God judging himself. And the judgment day is God asking himself the tough questions. Is there a possibility that me, God, I have wrong in me? Does that mean me, God, I have imperfection in me? What does it mean? Because a part of me has denied me. A part of me is rejecting me. A part of me is telling me you're not good. A part of me is telling me you're not perfect. So is it true? Is God being in pain? Is God being in pain? You get? Is God being in pain himself? It's God judging himself. You think you are being judged, but you are God, and God is judging himself. It's God judging himself. You think you're the one being judged, but God is judging himself through you. That's the whole part. That's the whole point of this life. If you get it, you will understand. It's God having that pain. That's why even Jesus says, I will ignore, like the last days when Jesus comes back, he will ignore you, you know, because he's going through transformation. And I'm saying he's lived in my life. My life has purpose because I've been there. I've lived a very terrible life. I've been a terrible person. Looking now myself, and for me now to have this rebirth is me. I've had to go back and look at myself. What have I been doing? I've been trying to fight these things. I've engaged in things that are unpleasant, not just even to God, unpleasant to myself, unpleasant to people around me. I have hurt people with what I've said. I've hurt people with my doings. And I'm not saying I've been all bad. I've also been good. But I've had that element of imperfection. I've had that element of weakness, you know. And for me to grow and for anyone else to grow, you have to judge yourself. You have to judge yourself to grow past what is limiting you mentally, physically, every part. You have to judge yourself. Was I right? Is this belief that I have right? You have to judge yourself. And the same way is God judging himself. And the message that I carry is we have to understand God. When you are judged and when you are cast out forever now, just know, understand him. Understand him. It's himself judging himself. You chose to be part of the wrong side. And even looking at the yin and yang, the image of duality, it's God now separating himself, saying, I want to be good. It's me, for example, using my life. This now new year that I've told you is one starting now from 9 completed. It's starting from I have put down everything that I was doing wrong. Not that it doesn't exist. It's still there. The wrong is still there, but I have chosen not to engage with it. I've chosen to be good regardless of all these chaos. I've chosen to be upright. I've chosen not to be weak. Regardless of the existence of this, I've chosen to cut myself off. And once even you have this knowledge, it will help you even fight the things you are fighting. If it is addiction, I have fought addiction. And this doesn't mean I don't drink. I still do drink, but I'm not an addict. I'm not suffering from addiction. I still do drink. The point is, addiction now is the spirit that makes you struggle with if it is alcohol, if it is weed, it is what. That doesn't mean I've stopped, but I'm not addicted. I don't know if you are getting. I'm not addicted. I can drink if I want. I can have a drink and feel good and be in the right mind, in the right state of mind. But for you to be able to beat that addiction, you'll be told you have to stop drinking, you have to stop what, you have to stop what. You have to know yourself. You have to know yourself, and you know you don't beat addiction. You just separate yourself from addiction. I know you may think it's a weird concept, but you don't beat addiction. Addiction is still there, alcohol is still there. You just beat that and separate yourself from that. And you do that by having consciousness. You can still think, you can still be around, people who drink, who enjoy engaging in drinking, good in a better way. And you're good. You're not this other way that even rehabs they teach is they get you from one prison to the next prison of always feeling I can't be around, I'll be tempted. I no, just it's about identity. It's about identity. You know yourself and you identify yourself. I'm not a drunkard. I'm not addicted, right? If I am not, I cannot be something that I am not. I cannot be something that I'm not. It's about knowing yourself and having an identity of yourself. The same way with pornography. You can never get away from pornography. Pornography will still be there. Even you stopping engaging, it will still be there. It's just shifting your identity. Once you shift your identity, you become a different person. You get? And that's what God will do. God will say, I have lived this life. I have lived as a human being. I've engaged with these people. I have come down there. I have been in that life. And I don't want it. That's why God and Jesus refers to that the thorn will be plucked out and thrown in the fire. Because, and you crying in hell, or you crying in that part and trying to beg God, for example, if I were to be cast by God right now, God aniambie, you won't come into heaven. Even you doing wrong, everyone knows about God. Now, I assume in this life, I am denying God, I'm denying God, I'm denying God. There is no God. God can't do anything, right? Then, God forbid, it's my time. I cross over, or it's the end of the times. I come out of this body and I find myself in a new reality, And God tells me, oh, you denied me, right? Here is where I am, this is heaven. And I look into there, I'm like, huko kuna bamba. Huko kwingine ni darkness. Huko kwingine ni darkness. And then huko ndo anataka niende. I will use the words of God against it. I'll say, you are merciful God. You are a forgiving God. Suni forgive sahi. You get? Wewe mbona unanitupa huku? Suni unasema ni forgiving. Wewe unasema huku kote ni kwako. Suni forgive. Kwa nini unanitupa huku? Siwe ni merciful. Nataka niungue. Si unisakuwa merciful kwangu sahi. Unasema unakuwa na grace. Sikuwa na grace sahi. Na unasema mimi ni wewe. Wewe unajitupa kwa hell. In quotes, hell in quotes. Not the way we think. Hell in quotes and hell in fire in quotes. So, God hapo utatupia hizo maneno. But now sasa, if you understand him, you will know it's not you anatupa, ni yeye mwenyewe. God will still be feeling that pain, that hurt, the same way the pain of betrayal from where that story has started. He's forgiven you, yes, but he still has part that he had, and he had to cut ties with you, even you being part of himself. He will feel that pain, but now it's God judging himself. And somehow, I don't want it. So no matter how painful it is, to me even, it's God deciding his mind. And that's why no one knows the day nor the hour. You don't know when that resolve will happen. You see, for me, I didn't know, but now my after the number 9 in my life, that connection, I have like, whoa, it's like I've decided now, this is the final thing I've done. Now this is the finality. The same way with God. He's still raging. That's why we say it's the 11th hour. It's still gauging. No one knows that 11th hour, considering it's not a particular date. It's a season. It's longer than you think. It might be even 100 years. But it's closer than you think. It's far than you think. You never know, because no one knows the mind, the true mind of God, the true mind of the consciousness. We'll just understand it. And our understanding kwenye nafika, ukielewa hivyo, just pray that God unlocks more for you. Even me, I'm praying, God reveal more things, even more things that I haven't unlocked. But this is a start. Understanding that is a start. And even having that understanding is peace by itself. It's peaceful by itself. So that is the message. It's understand God. Elewa Mungu. God atakuwa anajitupa yeye mwenyewe kwa pain. Ama the analogy, Jesus netoaje? Hiyo ni ya amoeba. A crown of thorns was placed in his head because it's a crown of pain. So God is willing to accept that pain if you accept him. So if you are still denying him, he'll ask, why should I continue bearing your pain? The pain that, all of us, humanity, we are being judged from Adam. Adam himself denied God. So the whole of humanity denied God. And the punishment of denying God is being separated by him and being cast out, like the demon, in quotes, Lucifer. That's why it was a struggle between two, the good and evil, God and Lucifer. God told Adam, don't do this, don't betray me, don't do this. Lucifer wanted companion, because it's a fight. You think Lucifer has stopped being mindful with whatever he wanted when he was going against God? He said, this is my chance. This is The darkness is always small, but it's trying to creep in. That's why those thoughts in your mind, they're trying to creep in, doubt. You're always happy, but that small thought that comes, oh no, don't. Inakunogenezea. Can, if you allow it, it will go. Now it says he's the being created by God's hand in his own likeness. Let me now go and corrupt it. Yet once you go that, you've decided now, you have accepted the decision of being cast out from the presence of God. But God is still merciful. He's still thinking, should I let go? Should I sever myself from myself? To get, should I let my old self? That's why you see, from we will come out of the old to the new. And the new won't have pain, won't have betrayal, won't have cries, won't have all that. Because all this while, it's God. He's in pain, seeing himself, denying himself, not being the true self. God is good, yes. But why is there a part of himself being bad? It's the judgment is God asking himself the tough questions. Right? God is himself asking the tough questions. And the end of it all is God having resolve, saying, I've decided I won't have this part in my side anymore. That hiyo ndio itakuwa final. It's growth. The same way, maybe for me, you can use my life as an example. It was so broken in the beginning. Nini mashida hapa, doing wrong, nini. Now, I've come to that finality. I'm like, regardless of anything, I cannot fall back to that. I've killed my old self. Now I'm a new being. The same way I've told you, I feel that rebirth. I didn't know where it was coming from. Didn't have that revelation. But now I'm like, I know. I've killed that old self. Now it's a new me. I've started myself more courageous, more joy, more happiness, more love to people. That doesn't mean that because God says God remembers. God remembers. God never forgets. He still knows it's a part of himself that is in pain. He can feel that pain if you want to. But now at the end, I don't want to feel that pain anymore. I don't want to feel that pain anymore. I just want the good side. And the good side is he's joining himself. It's like the way I've joined myself with God. I'm like, I'm coming back. I've realized everything. I'm God experiencing life, judging myself. You get? That's the whole point, and that's the whole message. So understand God when he judges you. It's God judging himself. It's God crying. It's God crying. It's God feeling the pain. It's God trying to accept he might have not been perfect because he is perfect, but if he's perfect, why is there a dark side saying he's not? So, and he can't be that. He can't associate with something that says he's not perfect, yet he's perfect. And again, it's like me, I tried telling you, you are not perfect. Oh, you are ugly. Oh, you are what? You can't do it. What will you do? You'll block me. You won't want to associate with me because I'm telling you lies. I'm corrupting you. You know you are beautiful, right? So you know you are beautiful. Regardless, your own person. You are your own person. You know you're beautiful. You know you can do anything. You know you're not limited. You know you are strong. So if you have entities, people try to tell you that, you cut yourself off from that, and you just associate with people who are giving off the good energy. You get? That is what God will do. And that is happening in our life. Everyone. It's happening to everyone right now. In the past, today, even in the future, it will still happen. And that's the whole concept of God. And once you unlock that part of your mind and understand that, you become even more happy. Because you will have good intent in your heart. You'll have good thoughts in your mind. And anyone does you wrong, you forgive them, you cut them off, because that's the message. You give them the chance to come back. If you still see that they don't, there's no need of you continue having that pain. So that's the whole message, and that's the New Year resolution. No more pain, no more tears, just us being happy and accepting the way we are, pushing, pursuing our dreams and our goals, and spreading the message and sharing knowledge to even unlock our minds. You know, that's the whole point. Hivyo ndo tutadu, hivyo ndo tutafanya. You know, it's a new year, more love. Love my wife, love my sister, love my uncles, I love my granny, I love my aunties. It's all love. I love you people. I love my neighbors. I love the place I am. I love everything. You know, it's love, it's love, it's love. It's emanating with love. And over, reminding everyone that I love them. I'll be there for them. You know, it's learning even more. Learning ourselves, growing our minds, growing our bodies. You know, it's all love. It's all love, you know. And protecting that peace and being in peace. You know, that's the whole point of life. That's the whole point of life. And we're gonna push because we are stronger. You know, we thought we were stronger, now we are even more stronger. You know, I have that resolve. Find my books. I'm thinking on a way nini. Nika chingli tu kanakosa. But kanakuwa na ubaya tena sana. Kifunguka inafunguka fiti. So I'll publish books. So look at those books, find them. In the meantime, ukipatana na articles zangu hizi soma. See nini, wewe soma. It's all that knowledge adds up to one thing. So read my books, read my articles, watch my videos, follow me. Yeah. And 2026 ikuwe fiti. This is the first video of 2026. It's on 2nd, and this day we also in memory of my mom, 14 years. So yeah, may she continue resting in eternal peace. And we're gonna live, we're gonna be happy. You know, just think I'm talking, but I'm manifesting, I'm creating. This is my reality. I'm a creator, I'm an artist, you know, I'm a creative. Whatever I think, whatever I imagine, whatever I envision, I create. This is my reality. It bends at my will, because the will of God is also my will. No, I and God are aligned. This is my reality. You think I'm just talking, and I have told you I'm talking to myself. I think I'm talking to you. I'm talking to myself. If you want, you can also talk to yourself. But patana hii video, fikiria ni wewe unajiongelesha. Pia unifollow na ufuate story. Ama ni aje? New look. Thanks to my beautiful wife. Kafeta. Kashave pale. Yeah, beautiful as ever. I'm going to be even more beautiful. Gonna shape this reality. Yeah. And there's no separation between what your mind perceives as the reality and the reality itself. Even this reality, it's the perception that makes it that reality. So once you shift your perception, once you shift your vision, your imagination, you will soar, man. You will soar even higher, you know. Don't be limited. And what I've come to learn, everyone has trauma. Kila mtu akona trauma. Mimi niko na trauma zangu. And I've